Hello, 22 Tony here with another discussion on collecting vintage and antique ammo. Today I want to talk about a couple of subjects. I want to start with my weekend ammo score. I started out this morning, it's Sunday, I started out Sunday morning going to a local flea market. And at the flea market I did come across a few interesting cartridges, nothing real super exciting here. But dealer had a little metal tin of 22 shells. There were some 22 magnums, there was 22 shot shells, there were some nice older 22 shot shells in here, 22 long rifle, a little bit of something of everything, Remington golden bullets, and there were some Winchester and some Federal shot shells. There was also about a dozen CCI 22 long, not long rifle. So this whole little tin was $1. So for $1, you know, you can't really go wrong. Then the same dealer for another $1 threw in 30 rounds of 32 automatic. These are the Western silver tips. So again, for $1, these are older cartridges. You know, they're certainly worth taking to the range. Even if you get a misfire or two, it'll certainly be worth $1. Well, then after the flea market, I went to a local gun show at the York Fairgrounds. There was about 4 or 5 times a year they do have a gun show. And today I went and had a look around. I only picked up a few boxes, but I want to talk about something I actually didn't pick up for those of you that want to think about starting your own collection. This particular Western Bullseye box, this is the famous Western Bullseye box. We talked about those in a previous video, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on it. But it is a difficult box to find. 22 Winchester Auto in general is hard to find, and these Western boxes are in high demand. Well, at the show today I saw one particular dealer that not only did he have probably about 20 boxes of Western Bullseye 22 Winchester Auto, he also had the Western Bullseye box 32 Auto and 38 Auto. Those are really hard to find. So again, for those of you that are looking for where and how and when to buy ammo, gun shows are certainly a place to look. Now, to show you what my scores were, first I found a box of Sears Ted Williams 22 short. Now, this particular box, the dealer wasn't even considering it a collectible box. He had about 3 or 4 different brands of 22 short, and they were just sitting on the table, and there was a sign 22 short, $10 a box. So whether you were buying the fresh, factory fresh ammo, or you were buying 40-year-old Sears Ted Williams ammo, it was $10 a box. Well, $10 a box, of course, I grabbed this. It was the only one he had of this, or I would have taken them all. Now, at a gun show, that's not uncommon. He's there to sell guns and other supplies. Ammo probably isn't real high on his list. And, you know, I didn't ask him where he got these from, but probably came across them somewhere and just wanted to move his inventory. At a cartridge show, this particular box, even though it's not in perfect condition, it's pretty nice. It is factory full, and it's interesting, the head stamp, even though these were made by Federal, it's got the S head stamp for Sears, but these were made by Federal. So it is an interesting box. It's something a collector would like to have, particularly a collector of the retail store packaging. Cartridge show, I would expect this box to probably retail about $30. Well, I got it for $10 at the gun show because, again, he wasn't a cartridge collector, he's a gun dealer. The other box I bought today, I only bought 2 boxes, but I did buy this Peters High Velocity. This particular box was introduced by Peters in 1947. During World War II, Peters didn't produce consumer ammunition. Their production was for the war effort. So in 1947, after the war, they changed their packaging and they produced this box. This box actually was produced into the 1960s. Now, in 1962, there was a slight change to the packaging. Up in the upper right-hand corner where the DuPont logo is on this box, in 1962, when the child warning requirements came out, that was removed and the child warning was put here. So I know this box was made between 1947 and 1962, and it is full. Again, the dealer wanted $10 for it, and at a cartridge show I would probably assume this is a $15 to $20 retail value box. So again, not a bad price to pay. Now, that's still not what I really wanted to talk about today. Today I wanted to talk about a different type of collecting for those of you who aren't interested in 22 boxes. I want to talk about shotgun shells. But I'm not going to talk about shotgun shell boxes. Those of you that collect shotgun shell boxes are already familiar with that. And there are several reasons why I don't collect shotgun shell boxes. Probably the most important reason is just because of the size. If I were to put together a collection of 150 boxes like I have of my 22 shells, you know, these would take up a whole wall in my house. So I've chosen not to go with the shotgun shell boxes, even though that's a very popular area of collecting. But something I did come across today, and it kind of piqued my interest, so I picked up a few of them, were the paper shotgun shells. Those of you that know me know that I'm a fan of 16 gauge. I've never owned a 20 gauge. I'm not sure if I've ever even shot one. And 12 gauge I think is overkill for the type of hunting I do. And years ago I became a fan of a 16 gauge, and it's the only shotgun I own or use now. While I was at the show today, I did come across some paper shotgun shells, and they just seemed interesting. Now, they're not particularly expensive. Most of the dealers that had paper shotgun shells, individual shells, were selling them for under $1. In fact, when I have paper shotgun shells in my antique shop, we sell them too for $1. So they're not expensive. They don't take up a huge amount of room like the boxes do, and they're readily available. So today I kind of expanded my collecting a little bit and got into something that's a little bit new and different. So first here I have a Western Super X. This is 4-shot 16 gauge paper cartridge, and I just thought it was pretty interesting, so I picked it up. Next I have a Western Expert low brass 6-shot, again 16 gauge paper cartridge. I also found something a little bit more interesting, a Remington Express clean bore 16 gauge, and this one has the paper label on the end. So this is also a 6-shot. It shows the weight of the lead and the powder equivalent. Another interesting cartridge I got today was a Western Leader. Paper cartridge inset in the end, or the paper label inset in the end, 16 gauge Western Leader. Pretty interesting shotgun shell. Now I have a Remington Sure-Shot. Again, this has the paper label, 8-shot. Paper cartridge, low brass on this one. This actually was given to me. The dealer that sold me the Peters High Velocity 22 shells threw this in. He saw that I was looking at it, and I didn't really want to put out any money for it, but he threw it in with the box of 22 shells, so I thought that was really nice of him. So I don't have anything in that at all. And then the last one I want to put out today was one that I found that I thought was really interesting. For those of you that already collect, you're going to be familiar with the name. This is a J.C. Higgins. J.C. Higgins, again, was a private label, and this is a J.C. Higgins Sure-Shot paper cartridge. So I thought that was a little bit of an interesting cartridge there. So again, this is just probably a start of a collection. Something I hadn't really thought about doing in the past, but it goes nice with my 16 gauge shotgun. They don't take up a lot of room. I have a little shelf on the back of my gun cabinet where they'll stand on, so I'm just going to set them in the back of my gun cabinet behind my shotgun, and a little bit of a nice decoration. Only cost a couple of dollars and readily available. So as always with my videos, they're not designed to be the answer, they're designed more to be the question. Hopefully they'll make you think about collecting, maybe give you some ideas, maybe give you an area to start collecting yourself. Maybe some of you that have never really thought about collecting individual paper cartridges or shotgun shells may start looking in that direction now. Either way, hopefully it gave you something to think about, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Please feel free to share my videos and like them, and thanks for watching. Feel free to watch my other videos as well.